New tonight, a petition to recall longtime Republican Al French if he wins in November. An alleged cover-up of Forever Chemicals tonight.
Cool again tomorrow morning, but we're talking some serious heat building in a summer-like weekend ahead.
Plus, the Spokane Public School Board set to make big changes to the district's cell phone policy.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We are tracking multiple breaking headlines at this hour. First, according to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, a 7-acre wildfire is now prompting level 1 get-ready evacuations. It's for residents in the Cave Bay area near the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation.
So take a look at your screen. This is a detailed map of those level 1 evacuations. Those are for residents living east of Cave Bay Road to Mowry Road and north of Johnson Road.
Now, this is a developing situation. Of course, we will continue to bring you updates here on air and online on KREM.com.
More breaking news. A Spokane County missing persons case now being considered a homicide, and 3 people have been arrested. Robert Abbott hasn't been seen since March 31st. In April, he was reported missing by his wife. After months of investigation, detectives say they have enough evidence to charge Richard Trower with second-degree murder.
Also, his wife, Terry Trower, is charged with rendering criminal assistance, and a third person, Heather Lewis, is also charged with second-degree murder. It appears at least one suspect, Richard Trower, knew the victim and had been to his house. The Sheriff's Department says additional arrests are possible.
In less than 3 months, voters will have the choice to re-elect Spokane County Commissioner Al French, but they could also be asked to recall the longtime Republican if he wins.
A new Clean Water Coalition is pushing for his ouster over PFAS contamination in his district. KREM 2's Shannon Mouty spoke with those behind this recall effort. Shannon?
A recall petition filed Tuesday accuses Commissioner French of violating his oath of office and misconduct, claiming he covered up PFAS contamination near the airport for the better part of a decade.
Back in 2017, PFAS contamination was detected near Fairchild Air Force Base.
Airway Heights announced their water could be unsafe to drink.
But a newly filed recall petition says Spokane County Commissioner and then Airport Board member Al French also knew and covered up. The so-called Forever Chemicals had spread to neighborhoods near the Spokane Airport. Neighborhoods like the West Plains, where Robert Gearhart has lived for 5 years. He learned his drinking water may be contaminated this past May.
Denied us who live here the possibility of receiving some help.
He's now part of the Clean Water Accountability Coalition, a group that filed the recall petition against French. It claims French spent 7 years covering up the information.
That cover-up effectively poisoned the communities he was supposed to be serving.
Noel Lowney is the attorney for the Coalition of West Plains Residents and Fuse Washington, a progressive group that has endorsed French's District 5 opponent, Molly Marshall. The petition claims French prioritized the business interests of the Spokane Airport over constituents' lives.
In fact, what he was doing was protecting the airport and a public development authority that he is on the board of. And so, yes, he sabotaged a public health response to this public health crisis.
French did not respond to KREM 2's requests for comment on the recall effort.
I will not vote for him again, and I didn't vote for him last month.
The EPA began testing drinking water in the West Plains earlier this year, but the coalition believes that could have happened years ago, if not for French's alleged actions. The petition says in 2020, French removed a PFAS grant application from a commission agenda, telling an environmental services manager he was concerned about the timing and impact on the airport.
And in fact, he blocked government grants that would have tested the wells and provided support for these communities.
Robert says he and other neighbors are looking at footing the bill for water filtration systems. $10,000 or $15,000 each.
I would like to see him held accountable for that. I don't know what that means legally, but maybe he can go begging the people to reconsider and give us the money, right?
Now, a lot has to happen before voters would see a special recall election if this gets that far. The recall petition now goes to the county prosecutor and the Superior Court, which has 2 weeks to determine whether there's sufficient evidence to support a recall. Shannon Mouty, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much.
Ahead of a final vote now on their new cell phone policy, Spokane Public Schools holding a seminar this morning at Yasahara Middle School.
The event was slated as Engage IRL, a call to action. Several city leaders spoke about the impacts of too much screen time, including the Spokane Regional Health District.
New changes in the policy would require all elementary and middle school students to be cell phone free during school hours. High schoolers would follow similar standards, but phone usage would be allowed during passing periods, lunch hours, and before and after school.
Excessive amount of time on screens for kids is unhealthy, and the stakes are too high. It's having too much of a detrimental impact for us not to come together and say, what are practical things we can do?
And so it's up to all of us now to join in. The city will do its part. We're going to join resources together. You're going to see our community centers, parks, libraries. We're all going to be part of this, and it's going to make a difference for our kids.
As the school district prepares for a new year, they are hopeful to get students involved in more extracurricular activities.
And tonight's school board meeting starts at 6 o'clock. We will have a crew there, and we'll keep you updated on that final vote.
All right, let's switch gears and take a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy the Goo. Jeremy?
Hi.
Hello.
Well, when it comes to the overall forecast, we're about through the coldest of it. Today trended a little bit cooler, but we had more sunshine, so it felt a little bit warmer. Wind also remained a little bit gusty, but not overly as strong as yesterday. Wind still out of the west at 13 miles per hour and gusting to about 15 or 16. That will die down as soon as we lose some of that direct heating of the sun, so think 7 o'clock hours, still about 2 hours away from that. We are getting the wind from the backside of this low. The wind is ushering in some cool, dry air from off to our north. That cool, dry air teeming in from Canada is allowing our temperatures or causing our temperatures to drop. Here's where we're going to go overnight. 47 in Spokane, 44 in Coeur d'Alene, 38 in Deer Park, likely in the 30s in Chewelah and Usk, Newport 41-ish, Sandpoint 40, 40s across the Palouse and in central Washington. It's going to be a cool one, but by tomorrow afternoon, we are back up to the 80s. 50s Friday morning, then near 90, and then 90s Saturday, Sunday, and even Labor Day.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. Now, still ahead tonight, a former Colville police officer put on the Brady list after reportedly having sex with a teenager while on duty. A story coming up here in just 2 minutes.